So how did you find out about this project? How did it come your way?
So really, it came off the back of my previous film, Senna, where somebody at Universal Music, hey, had seen that film and had liked it. And that was my first documentary. That was the first time I'd really made a kind of non-fiction film. And there was a guy at Universal Music who really loved that film and got in touch with my producer and said, look, would you be interested in making a film about Amy? So it was really interesting because they approached us. So then I was able to say, look, it does intrigue me, but I'll only do it if you guarantee we have all the music, all the publishing, everything in place, and you leave us alone. And let me speak to whoever I want to speak to. There should be no rules. And the guy at Universal Music said to my producer, James, yeah, you know, you can make it warts and all. So that's kind of how we started. And I think if it had been the other way around, if I had had an interest in Amy and approached them, I think it would have been much more difficult. So we went into the initial meeting and just said, look, you can't, I'm going to have to talk to everyone. Let's be kind of grown up about this. We all know how it ended, right? It's no big secret what happened to Amy. The audience will know. Everyone knows the ending. We have to really dig as deep as we can into the journey and why did it happen and how did it happen. And everyone said, okay, fine. And so I was like, just leave us alone for a couple of years and let us make the film. And that's what happened.
Well, there are fans of Senna here, and I'm one of them. What you did on that movie was amazing in terms of finding the archive footage and figuring out how to edit it together into a narrative. And you sort of developed a new way of doing that. Explain what you learned on that film and how it transitioned into this one.
Yeah, I mean, previously to Senna, I'd made fiction films. So my background, I studied at art school. I studied at the Royal College of Art. I come from quite a visual background. And so in my fiction films, I was kind of obsessed with the image and how it should look and, you know, shooting widescreen movies. And one of the reasons I wanted to make a documentary to make Senna was I'm a sports nut. So I love sports and I wanted to kind of try to get into the characters of these supreme sports people. And particularly Senna was, you know, such an intelligent, amazing man. But I wanted to sort of free myself up as a filmmaker where I had no control over the image. That was the whole thing. The point should just be story and emotion. It's just about telling the story in the best possible way and to get to the heart of like what's the most important thing emotionally. And even if it's YouTube footage, even if the footage is really shaky and really bad quality, if it's real and it has some sort of strength and power to it, I'm going to use it. So for me, it was the first sort of step, was a challenge to free myself up from how things look and kind of this idea of sort of perfection of an image. And then I kind of got a bit carried away with it maybe, because then it was like almost the more shaky it is, the more real it feels. You know, there was something about the driving footage in Senna that was always all over the place, but it was real. That was the point. And that Amy is a continuation in a way of that style of just going with the real moment. So that first scene in the film, the happy birthday scene, technically is awful. Right. You know, it looks terrible. But it's when she starts to sing, you don't care what it looks like because you see the character and you hear her and you just suddenly go, wow, it's all there. And I think that idea of being brave enough to say, it doesn't matter what it looks like. If it sounds right and if it captures a moment, that's all the audience really care about.